Hey there, welcome back. Or if you're new, I'm so glad you're here today. Picture this. It's 1884, and a man stands alone in the wild Dakota Badlands, wind whipping through his mustache, his heart shattered after losing his wife and mother on the same day. That man, Theodore Roosevelt. Future president, Rough Rider, a force of nature who didn't just survive tough times, he thrived in them. But here's the twist. This isn't just about Teddy the legend. It's about Teddy the dad, a father who raised 6 kids, including 4 sons, with a rule that turned hardship into strength. Today, we're diving into how Roosevelt guided his sons with one unshakable idea: strength in tough times. This isn't some history lecture to snooze through. It's for you, parents, grandparents, anyone raising kids in a world that's messy, unpredictable, and honestly, a little overwhelming right now. If you ever wonder how to help your kids bounce back from failure, stand tall when life gets heavy, or find grit when everything's telling them to give up, stick with me. We're going back to Roosevelt's wild, chaotic life to steal his playbook, a guide for raising kids who don't just get by, but grow stronger when the going gets tough. So, grab a coffee, settle in, and let's step into Teddy's world for a lesson that hits home whether you're in Chicago, Vancouver, or Berlin. By the end, you'll have ideas to build that same strength in your kids, starting right now. Let's rewind to the 1880s. Theodore Roosevelt isn't president yet. He's a young widower, a New York politician who's just been knocked flat by tragedy. His wife, Alice, dies giving birth to their daughter, and his mom passes away hours later. Most people would have crumbled, and Teddy nearly did. But instead of breaking, he bolts to the Badlands. 2 years of ranching, hunting, facing blizzards and bandits. That's where he rebuilds himself, and it's where his parenting rule takes root. Strength in tough times. He doesn't just want his kids to endure hardship. He wants them to wrestle it, beat it, and come out tougher. When he returns east, remarries Edith, and raises his 6 kids, Alice, Theodore Jr., Kermit, Ethel, Archie, and Quentin, he pours that lesson into them like it's gospel. Why does this matter to us, sitting in our kitchens or cars in 2025? Because raising kids today feels a lot like Teddy's Badlands sometimes. Wild, uncertain, full of storms we can't control. We've got pandemics, economic wobbles, kids glued to screens instead of climbing trees, and a culture that's obsessed with comfort over grit. As parents, we're not just keeping the lights on. We're shaping humans who will face their own tough times. Roosevelt didn't raise soft kids in a cushy mansion, and we don't have to either. His story is a gold mine for us. Proof that strength isn't born. It's built, especially when life's at hardest. Think about Teddy as a dad. He's not your average Victorian father. Stiff, distant, all rules and no play. He's a whirlwind, charging up San Juan Hill one day, wrestling his boys in the White House the next. One story sticks out. When Theodore Jr., Ted, was about 10, he got sick, really sick, with asthma flaring up. Back then, that could have meant a life indoors, wrapped in cotton. Teddy didn't let it. He bundled Ted up, throw him in a carriage, and race through the night air, fast, wild, forcing his lungs to fight. It wasn't gentle, but it worked. Ted grew up strong, later charging into World War I as a soldier. Teddy didn't coddle weakness. He turned it into a forge for strength. That's the kind of parenting we can bring home. I heard about a mom in Minnesota, Laura, whose 12-year-old son, Ben, broke his leg playing soccer. He was crushed, months off the field, stuck on crutches. Laura could have let him wallow, and who'd blame her? Instead, she pulled a Roosevelt. She didn't baby him. She challenged him to find something new. Ben started sketching, then built a model stadium from scratch. By the time his leg healed, he wasn't just back on the team. He was designing plays. Laura didn't erase the tough time. She helped him grow through it, just like Teddy did. So what's Roosevelt's trick? His rule: Strength in tough times breaks into 3 big lessons we can use today. Let's unpack them, because this isn't about a mustache-whirling president anymore. It's about raising kids who will stand firm when life shakes, whether it's a failed test, a lost game, or a world that's spinning too fast. First, it's about facing the storm head-on, not dodging it, not pretending it's not there, but meeting it with grit. Teddy didn't shield his sons from hard stuff. When Kermit was 14, Roosevelt took him to Brazil, down the uncharted River of Doubt, a jungle hellhole with rapids, snakes, and fever. Teddy nearly died, lost 50 pounds, but Kermit, he paddled, hunted, survived. Roosevelt didn't say, "Stay safe, kid." He said, "Come with me, let's tackle this." That trip didn't just test Kermit, it forged him. He came back tougher, ready for anything. We can do that too. It's not about dragging our kids to jungles, but letting them face their own rivers of doubt. I think of a dad in Toronto, Mike, whose 15-year-old daughter, Sophie, bombed her first driving test. Tears, embarrassment, the works. Mike could have smoothed it over, booked the next one quietly. Instead, he said, "Let's practice, hit the road tomorrow." They drove every day, rain, traffic, nerves. And when Sophie passed, she didn't just get a license. She got guts. Mike didn't dodge the tough time. He turned it into strength, Roosevelt style. Try this. Next time your kid hits a wall, a bad grade, a fight with a friend, don't fix it for them. Ask, what's your next move? Help them face it. Practice the speech. Redo the homework. Talk it out. Tell them, "You got this. I'm here, but you lead." It's not about throwing them in blind. It's about showing them they can handle the storm, like Teddy showed Kermit. Next, it's about turning struggle into stories, not just surviving, but making meaning from it. Teddy was a master storyteller. He'd sit his kids by the fire at Sagamore Hill, their Long Island home, spinning tales of the Badlands, how he roped cattle, faced down grizzlies, froze in blizzards. But he didn't stop there. When Archie broke his arm falling off a horse, Teddy didn't hush it up. He turned it into a saga. The day Archie conquered the beast. The boys grew up seeing tough times as chapters, not dead ends. Quentin, the youngest, took that to heart, later flying planes in World War I, bold as his dad. We got stories too. Ours, there's the world's. I met a mom in London, Claire, whose 13-year-old son, Ollie, got cut from the basketball team. He was gutted, ready to quit. Claire didn't let it fester. She sat him down, told him about her own flop, failing a big exam, then acing it later, and said, "This is your grizzly bear. What's the tale gonna be?" Ollie started shooting hoops in the driveway, made the team next year, and now calls it the cut that made me. Claire didn't erase the tough time. She framed it as strength like Teddy did. Here's your move. Share a story this week. Maybe it's yours. How you bounce back from a job loss, a move, a heartbreak, or one from Roosevelt's life, like the River of Doubt, tied to their struggle. You're down now, but this is your chapter. What's next? Make it a tale they'll tell someday, a badge of grit. Ask, what's your grizzly bear? Let them see tough times as fuel, not failure. The third piece is pushing them to keep going. Strength isn't static, it's motion. Teddy didn't let his sons rest on one win. When Ted beat asthma, Roosevelt didn't stop. He threw him into boxing, rowing, hiking up mountains. When Archie was 9, Teddy sent him to catch a runaway pony in a storm. Not to punish, but to prove he could. The boys didn't just get strong. They stayed strong because Teddy kept the bar high. Even as president, he'd wrestle him on the White House lawn, muddy suits and all, shouting, "Again!" We can push like that. Not meanly, but with love. I'll never forget a dad in Ohio, Tom, whose 11-year-old daughter, Emma, finished her first 5K. Slow, sweaty, last place. Tom could have clapped and called it done. Instead, he said, Great start, let's train for a 10K. Emma groaned, but they ran together. Early morning, sore legs, and when she crossed that finish line, she wasn't last. She was beaming. Tom didn't let her settle. He kept her moving like Teddy kept Ted. Try it. When your kid nails something, a project, a game, don't just cheer and stop. Push them a little. What's next? Let's level up. Maybe a harder book, a new skill, a bigger goal. Say you're strong, keep going. It's not pressure, it's momentum. Building strength that lasts, like Roosevelt did. So what was Teddy's deal? He wasn't perfect, loud, stubborn, sometimes over the top. But he raised sons who didn't flinch. Ted fought in 2 world wars. Kerm explored jungles. Archie led troops. Quentin flew into danger. All because their dad taught them strength in tough times wasn't optional. It was who they were. Teddy went from a broken man in the Badlands to a president who busted trusts, built parks, and won a Nobel Peace Prize. Not despite hardship, but through it. His boys carried that torch, and it started at home. How does that land today? We're not raising Rough Riders for Cuba, but we're raising kids for a wild world, climate shifts, tech overload, pressures we can't predict. Strength still matters. It's the kid who picks up after rejection, who tries again when the app crashes, who says, I'll figure it out when the easy road's gone. Teddy didn't have Google or parenting blogs, but he had a rule: strength in tough times. And it worked so well his sons became legends in their own right. Let's imagine Teddy sitting with our kids today, maybe over pancakes or a park bench if we're dreaming big. What would he say? I think he'd grin, that big toothy grin, and tell them, life's tough, kids, good. Face it, fight it, make it yours. You're stronger than you think. And to us parents, he'd add, don't coddle them, push them, cheer them. They'll rise. That's the Roosevelt way, raw, real, and right for now. That's our challenge, isn't it? We're not just keeping our kids alive. We're building resilience. Teddy wasn't flawless. He lost Quentin in war, grieved hard, but he saw potential and didn't let it rust. We got that shot too. Every time we let them face a storm, turn it into a story, or push them forward, we're raising Roosevelts, not for battlefields, but for a world that needs grit, guts, people who won't fold. Here's how we start. 3 steps you can take today. First, let them face something tough. Pick one hurdle they're dodging, a chore, a fear, a flop, and say, tackle it. I've got you. Guide, don't solve. Second, tell a story. Share your Badlands moment, when you fell and got up, or Teddy's, like racing Ted through the night. Make their struggle epic. Third, push them on. Next time they win, big or small, say, awesome, what's next? Keep the fire going. These aren't fancy hacks. They're Teddy's blueprint. Tweaked for us. His sons didn't shine because they were born tough. They shone because he made tough times their teacher. Our kids can too. Maybe not to lead armies, but to lead lives that stand out. I think of a mom in Seattle, Jen, whose son Max, 14, got dumped by his first crush, heartbroken, shut down. Jen didn't hug it away. She said, feel it, then do something. Write it out, run it off. Max started jogging, turned it into a habit, and now he's the kid who doesn't quit. Jen built strength, not a shield. Teddy's life ended in 1919, 60. Worn out from 1,000 fights and 1,000,000 miles. But his lesson didn't stop. It lives in every kid who rises because someone showed them how. We're that someone. We're the Roosevelts of today. Not presidents, but parents with a chance to raise kids who find strength in tough times. Whether they're chasing dreams, lifting others, or just standing when it's easier to fall. So here's my ask. Don't let this fade by bedtime. Make it real. This week, build strength with your kids. Give them one tough challenge. Maybe it's owning a mistake, trying something hard, pushing past a no. Tell them one story. yours, Teddy's, anyone's, that turns struggle into gold. And when they step up, push them forward. Say, you're tough, keep it rolling. You're not just raising kids. You're raising warriors, one gritty moment at a time. If this sparks something, share it. Hit that share button. Send it to a parent, a friend, anyone who wants tougher kids in a soft world. Subscribe if you're not in yet. We're digging into more stories like this, lessons that lift us up. Drop a comment. What's one tough time you'll help your kid conquer this week? I can't wait to read it.